Hello Exponentex. So here I am recording the sixth video of the Java programming series, and today we are going to cover the topic about control statements. Okay, so what are control statements? Java provides statements that can be used to control the flow of Java code. So to control the statements, like if I have some conditions, I have to execute according to those conditions. So how I can execute those things, right? So that's all about the control statements. The control statements have three types. So decision making statement, loop statement, and jump statement. So decision making statement means how I can decide according to the condition. It is decision making. Looping statement means if I have to run something for continuously for repeated times. So for that thing I will use the loop statement. And then jump statements. So what are jump statements? Jump statement means if my some conditions are satisfied, then jump and go to the next condition and test it. If it is also verified, then go to next, then jump to next statement. So like that we use the jump statements. So in this video we are going to cover the if statement and switch statement, which are the types of decision making statements. And the loop statement and jump statement we will be covering it in the upcoming videos. Okay, so let's get started. So here is the if statement. So what is if? um, we always talk about something like if this is happened, if there are clouds, there will be rain, like that, right? If there is some condition, then something will happen, like that. If there is no if that condition satisfied, then the if statements will be executed, or else the else statements will be executed. Okay, so if statements are also having some certain types. Okay, there are four types: simple if statement, if else statement, if else if ladder, and then nested if statement. So so in these different types we can write the if statements. Okay, so let me just talk about all the statements, syntax and all, and we will go to the VS Code and execute all the programs. Okay, so the first type is simple if. So simple if means if, then condition, and then the statement which I want to execute it. Okay, so this is the simple syntax of the if. How I can write that? If here I must be small, it should not be capital letters, make sure that. Okay, then what is if condition. So okay, okay. If, then I have to provide some condition, like if I give two numbers, right, a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3. Okay, we have learnt in the operators that if I want to consider which is a bigger number, how I can tell that? By using the greater operator, right? If a is greater than b, then true or false, right? But in if we give like this, a is greater than b in the print statement, then only the true or false statement will be executed, right? If I want to compare these two numbers, like let's say if I have certain age. Okay, let's say for the driving license. Okay, for to get the driving license, a person must be 18 or above 18, right? Let me give a condition. If a person is greater than 18 or equal to 18, greater than or equal to 18, then he will be having his driving license, right? So he can get his driving license, can get his DL. Okay, so for these kind of questions where we have to execute some statements, there we will use the if conditions, if else, or. Okay, I have to provide the condition here, that is person is greater than 18, then provide it with the driving license. In the statement we can write anything, right? um, so here we will write only the south statements, like printing statements only. Yeah, and next I will make one practice question practice question video. There we will solve multiple questions of different types. Okay, so let's move with second slide. Okay, here is the if else statement. Like, if person is not greater than 18, then what I have to print? He will not get the DL, right? He will not get the DL. So in if condition I will write if person is greater than 18, then execute this statement, like he will get the DL, else he will not get the DL. There is no requirement of the condition for the else statement. Why? Because if there are clouds, only there will be rain. If there are no clouds, there will be no rain, right? So there is no need of specifying condition over here. Okay, so the next thing, if else if ladder. So what is if else if ladder? If condition 1, else if condition 2, right? So how we can tell that? If there are some more than one condition we have to satisfy, like if I have to find a number which is uh, let's take, if suppose there are three numbers, 2, 3 and then 4. If I have to find greater of these three numbers, right? So I have to do, for I have to compare first 2 and 3, then I have to compare 3 and 4. If 2 is greater than 3, then condition this, or else if 3 is greater than 4, then execute this, right? I have to do this. If these both condition fails, then we will use the else statement. Okay, this statement 1, else if, then condition again, then statement, then else. Okay, the else, the if then condition, which is enclosed in the round brackets and the flower brackets for opening braces, and then these are the closing braces. Hmm. Maybe you are thinking that I'm going too fast, but I'm just explaining this PPT. We will get hand on the VS Code, and you will see there how much easiest concept it is. One of the easiest concepts. Then nested if else. What do you mean by nested? Nested means one in the other, right? Like if, then some condition, then in the if condition only I am again giving one more if condition, right? Then I am giving one else condition. Then if this fails, then it will be executing this else part. If this if condition 1 is satisfied, then it will be entering this if nested if else. Then it will check for this condition. If condition 2 is satisfied, then statement 1 will be executed, or else the statement 2 will be executed, and the nested if else will be exit. So let's get to the VS Code and try to get practically about these things. Okay, so this is the video take 2. I have recorded once, but my mic is off, so I have to record it again. Okay, so let me make one file with name 11 underscore what we are learning, if else dot java. Okay, let me zoom it, zoom in, bro. Okay, so we were learning if else. So how the if else will be work? So class underscore 11 if else public static void main string of. Okay, so let me take one number as int a is equal to let me take it as 18. Okay, so let me check if my given number is 18 or not. How I can check? Like if a is double equal to 18, and what I have to print? The number is 18. So we can see that a is equal to 18. Okay, this is the assignment operator and this is equal checking operator. Okay, equality checking operator. So 18 is assigned to variable a, and what I am checking that a is equal to 18 or not. Let me run this program. As you can see here, the number is 18, right? Because the number is equal to 18. What if I give here the number is double equal to 1, say, and run this program? You can see here no output is generated. Why? Because a is not equal to 1, right? So that's why the number is 18 is not printed over here, because this condition is failed. But I have to tell that if I ask you, uh, like if I tell you you are studying in some XYZ university but you are not studying there, I tell you that you are studying in XYZ university, and you tell me what will be your answer? Your answer will be I am not studying in XYZ university. There, if you are studying in XYZ university, what will be your answer? I am studying in XYZ university. So in this if else condition also, if a is not equal to if a is equal to 1, then print it as the number is 18. If it is not, then print like the number is not equal to 18. So there comes the use of else. If the if condition fails, then print the number is not 18. So I've got my point. Let me run this program, and you can see here the number is not 18 printed, right? If this condition fails, then this condition will be executed. If this condition is true, then you can see here the number is 18 printed. So okay, only if condition is printed and else condition is not printed. Okay, there is no such rule that you must have to write else. Even if you write only if part, it will be fine. Okay, but to tell um, but to give if one condition is failed and second condition is true, we have to use the else part. Okay, so this is about the if else. So the next is let's do one more thing. Like let me assign this value to 19, and let's check if a is greater than 19, then you are allowed to drive, right? Else you cannot drive. You cannot drive. Okay, so let me run this program. So as you can see here, you are allowed to drive. So this statement is printing as a is greater than 18. A is 19 here. 19 is greater than 18. So that's why this condition is executing. So if the if condition is checked for in this the execution, how the execution takes place is, first the if condition is checked. If the if condition is true, then the compiler will not check the else part. Okay, if the if condition is true, the compiler will not check the else part. It will directly print whatever is in the if statement and give us the output. Okay, if the if condition, if it checks the first if condition, and if it is false, then it will directly print the else else part without checking any condition, because it doesn't have any condition, right? So let's check the what if else ladder now. Okay, if else if, so let me comment out this. Okay, then let's find the greater between two numbers. Okay, int b is equal to, let's take 20, and if a is greater than b, then print me the okay, the number a is greater, right? If a is greater than b, or else what will be the next condition? B can be greater than, else out, making too many mistakes, right? Else out the number b is greater. Okay, so let's run this program, and the number 20 is greater, which is our correct output. What if I give 20 over here and run this program again? What will be the output? So as you can see here, it is again showing the number 20 is greater, but both the numbers are equal, right? Why it is not printing this part, the number 20, both the numbers are equal? Because we are not given the command here, right? We are given the number a is greater, the number b is greater, only two statements are there, it will execute one of them, right? But in checking the greater number, there will be three conditions. The one number is greater, another number is smaller, one number is smaller, another number is greater, and one more condition is both the numbers are equal, right? So for that we will use if else if. Okay, else if, what we will write here, if else if b is greater than a. If this condition fails, check this condition. If this condition is true, then print this statement. Okay, let me run this program again and check. As you can see here, there is no output printed. Why? Because both the condition are false over here. Why? Because both the numbers are equal, but I have given a is greater than b or b is greater than a, right? So I can write else statement and write here out the numbers are equal, right? The numbers are equal, and let me run this program. So as you can see here, the numbers are equal, it is printing. But I can write also like else if a is double equal to b and run this program again. So again it is printing the numbers are equal as my a is equal to b, right? So one more condition, what will be, it is out let's take wrong input. If the user has entered some character, right, so it will be a wrong input, a character, string, then it will be a wrong input. Okay, so these four condition can become while checking the greater number. Okay, I hope you get this. If else if, how the execution parts takes place here. If the first condition is true, it will be executed and the remaining condition will not be checked. Okay, it will directly jump after this else part. Okay, it will not check all these lines. Okay, if the first condition is false, then it will check the second condition, then the third condition is also false, then it will directly execute this else part. Okay, if the second condition is true, it will not check the remaining conditions. Okay, I hope you have get this. So let me comment out this. So let's find the greater number between two by using nested if else. What is nested if else? If else in if and the else. Okay, so let me write if let's take three numbers. Let me take it as 19 and then int c is equal to 21. So let's check. So how I can tell one of the number is greater here? By comparing a and b first, then a with c, right? If as our c is greater number, let me compare first c with a. When I compare c with a, my output will be c is greater number from in between c and a. Then I will compare c with b, then c will be greater than b again. So therefore the condition is true and the c is greater number, we will print it. What if this is 22 and we are checking the same condition? If c is greater than a, then c is greater number, my output will be stored as c is greater number. Then it will check again for c is greater than b or not. If the condition fails, then what will be printed? 22 is greater number, right? So let's write this program. If a is greater than b, there will be three conditions. What we have told c is greater than a. If c is greater than a, if this condition is true, what we will check for? If c is also greater than b, right? So shout the number c is greater. Okay, good. What if this condition is false? Then what will be the output? The number b is greater. The number b is greater. Why I have told that number b is greater? Because c is greater than a and but c is smaller than b. Then obviously the b will be greater than a, right? It's a mathematical thing. Okay, so what will be our next thing? Else if we have checked c is greater than a, then we can check if a is greater than b, right? If a is greater than b, what will be our answer? Shout if a is greater than b. Then here if this condition is fail, okay, c is not greater than a, okay, so obviously a is greater than c. And if the a is greater than b, okay, so this condition will be true and the number a is greater, right? If a is greater than c, then a is obviously and a is greater than b, the number a is greater. If this condition is fail, then this condition is true. Okay, so let's run this program and check. Okay, the number b is greater. What was the number? 22, right? The number b is greater. Let me change this number to 23 and run it again. The number c is greater, so it is printing what are the numbers? 19, 22 and 23. Let me write the numbers over here. A is equal to 19, B is equal to 22, and C is equal to 23. Okay, so these are the three numbers. So first we are comparing C is greater than A or not. C is greater than A. Okay, this condition is true over here. Okay, this condition is true. Then we are checking for the C is greater than B or not. Yes, this is also true. True condition. Therefore the number C is greater. That's it. Let me run. Okay, for the A, int A is equal to 23, 24. Why it is showing the error? Okay, let's run this program. The number A is greater. Why? The number A here is 24 now, right? First it will check the condition for C greater than A or not. This condition is false. That's why it will not enter in this if else nested if else, and it will directly jump to the else if part. Okay, and it will check if A is greater than B or not. If A is greater than B, okay, therefore the number A is greater, right? Let's check one more condition for this 25. Let's take this number as 25. Our number became 25 now, and run this program again. Oh, no output. Why? Because we are given two conditions, C is greater than A and A is greater than B, but we are not specified for the B. Okay, if the B number is greater, we can write directly to the else part. The number B is greater, right? I hope you get it. Why? Because if A is not greater than B, if okay, C is not greater than A here, this condition is false. Okay, it will not check these conditions, right? These conditions will not be checked. Then it will check the next condition where A is greater than B or not. Okay, this is also false. Then what he have to do? Then obviously the number 24 and 23 are smaller than B, so we can write directly in the else part, the number B is greater. Okay, this is the complete logic. So let me run this program again. And you can see here the number B is greater. It is printing me the perfect output. Okay, so this is about the if, this is about the and this is about the if else, then this is if else if ladder, and this is the nested if else. Okay, so you can write n number of else if, and you can write n number of nested if else. Okay, we can also write again here one more if condition and give some conditions and write code over here. Okay, this is also fine. It will check three times the condition, this condition, this condition, then this condition. Then if three conditions are true, then only it will execute the remaining statement whatever we have written over here. Okay, I hope you have get this. So this is all about the today's video, and there is more yet to come. So in the next video we will be going to study about switch statements. So switch statements, how they work, and their syntax, and some examples we will solving there. I will be making one dedicated video on the questions which are important in the if and switch statements. So in these videos I'm not going to solve much problems, so the video's length will be extended. That's why I'm not doing much examples over here. In the separate for the practice question, I will make one video. There we will implement if, then switch statements, then also again looping statements and all. Okay, so hope you will watch the next video also and today's video also. Okay, bye bye.